Don't have one.
Good afternoon everyone and welcome to this special meeting of Council. Council acknowledges the Wadawurrung people as the traditional owners of the land, waterways and skies. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and we acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are part of the Greater Geelong community today. This meeting has been broadcast on the internet and the recording of the meeting will be published on the Council's website. So good evening everyone, my name is Peter Murray, I'm the Mayor and I'll be chairing this meeting of Council tonight. Tonight's special meeting is to approve in principle the draft performance statement and financial statements prior to final sign-off by the Victorian Auditor General's Office. These statements, when finalised, will form part of the Council's annual report for 2021-2022, which will be presented to Council later this month. Are there any apologies of leaves of absence for tonight? I have an apology from Councillor Contel, be the only one. Declarations of conflicts of interest. Are there any declarations of conflicts of interest in relation to tonight's agenda? No. If any conflicts arise during the meeting, please make them known. So before going into the report section, I just want to pay an acknowledgement. It's been 20 years since the anniversary of the Bali bombing, and Geelong residents at the time were caught up in this disaster. So we want to pay our respects to those and the victims, and our thoughts are with all those people at this time. Section 2 is the reports, preparation of the 2021-2022 annual report, the draft financial statement and draft performance statement. That's moved by Councillor Aiken and seconded Councillor Harwood. Councillor Aiken.
Thank you very much, Mr Mayor. And look, it's my duty as Chair of our Finance Committee to present this particular report and recommendation before the Council tonight. It is our draft financial statements and performance statement for the 21-22 financial year. And in fact, it's actually quite sobering reading when you look at it. What the report does tell us, Mr Mayor, is that there are some bookkeeping and accounting entries that have actually given us a surplus in two ways. A comprehensive surplus, which suggests that the city has excess funds of $141 million, but in fact that's a bookkeeping and accounting entry. That $141 million is made up of at least $80 million worth of gifted assets from the urban expansion that's occurring in the city of Greater Geelong, and the remainder actually predominantly comes from revaluation of our assets that we currently own. And in fact, part of that revaluation is because it's costing us significantly more to replace those assets. So on our books, our asset base is now over $4 billion as an organisation with this report. What the report also does show us is that our original budgeted position was an $8 million deficit, and in fact tonight we're able to announce a $10 million surplus in terms of our operating position, which is a truer reflection of how the council is actually operating and allocating its resources and the services that it had within the city of Greater Geelong. But it should be noted that that $10 million surplus was actually benefited by $7.6 million through the advancement of a federal government grant. If we hadn't received that grant, we actually would have had a lower surplus. And the second area of major savings that the city's actually been able to undertake in the last 12 months has been associated with our employee costs, of which $4 million were directly associated with the COVID period that council experienced, and the rest of the community and the world in fact did as well too. I think I did use the term that this is a sobering report. Anybody who actually reads this report will actually see the difficult financial position that not just the City of Greater Geelong is, but any government is in the present time. And that is that essentially we have no discretionary funding capacity in our budget. and our financial statements show that as well too. So to be able to respond to the demands that the community is presenting before us, to be able to respond to the demands that officers are actually presenting before us in terms of policy positions and implementing new ideas is extremely hard. But I do commend this council group for the strength at which they've been committed to actually have a break-even position for the city. And this report shows that this council group is financially prudent in the way it's managing the community's money. It is financially prudent in the way it is allocating its resources on behalf of the community, but we are under significant financial pressure. We do need greater support from the state government in particular, in terms of the regime in which we can increase rates and other financial income areas. We are under significant stress from the introduction of the Commonwealth Games. We wish to partner both the state and federal government to deliver what is going to be one of the most unique Commonwealth Games in the world that has been seen with a regional model, but we can't do it based on the financial figures that we're presenting tonight because we have no discretionary funds available to be able to enter into that partnership. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. This report shows that we are managing as best we can, and I look forward to future financial reports and working with the officers and working with the council group to deliver our principal aims, which are to be financially sustainable and to try to best reflect the demands and the services and the resources that the community wants to meet our clever and creative vision as a community in Geelong.
Well said, Councillor Aiken. Councillor Harwood.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just want to concur with Councillor Aiken's comments about the finances and I guess the issues that we've faced and will continue to face. Is, I guess some of them are unprecedented, and will continue to work in the community's interest with the finances. I think it's worth noting that one thing these reports sort of demonstrate is that change is a constant. Every year the annual report has subtle differences in it, and the subtle changes within council, some not so subtle. We're now running at around about 127 services to the community. I think the latest one was actually the hard rubbish service that we brought in. And again, it's adapting to what the community expectations are and what the demands are, and then trying to work out what we can and can't do in a financial and responsible manner. We see the population of the growth of the area continue to be continue to be unprecedented. The growth we planned for in Armstrong Creek is exactly what we expected. We're about 2/3 of the way through, perhaps a little bit more, but we've seen the huge transformation of the southern region of our area now down through Barwon Heads Road, and now the duplication's occurring, so the change is substantial down through that area. We're now seeing the discussion around the Nwaga, the northern western growth area, through the Lovely Banks and Batesford South area coming on board, which we're now looking to house around about 110,000 people out in that precinct. So those demands alone will only create further stresses on councils, on governments. And what Councillor Aiken said is absolutely correct. We need more support from the state and federal governments as we have this growth continue through our region, and the expectation from the community with rate capping and other restraints on councils. It's absolutely imperative that we all keep in step with the community demand and then the infrastructure required. We see the... I just want to acknowledge the Audit and Risk Committee while we're having this discussion, because it is the Audit and Risk Committee that keeps us informed and up to date and in line in relation to our finances and our performance through the year. And as issues arise, we get to have the expertise of that particular committee give us the information that we need, and also identify and rectify when required some of the operations of our council. A couple of quick things to finish with. One is obviously the new Wiki Noral facility, which has been an overwhelming success by virtue of the staff comments and coming back to the building, and the general community comments about how it looks and how it's functioning. I think people are pleasantly surprised to see the end product, and hopefully that will stand council in good stead for years to come. And also we can be very proud, and the community can be very proud of the finished product. The only thing I was going to touch on again was just the sheer increase of our capital projects that, again, the demands from the community that they expect councils to meet. And again, we need to push back where we can and identify what's urgent and what's equitable in the community. Because at this stage we are falling behind, and we've identified that, and we're letting the community know that the cost is out of our reach in some areas, and we need further help and understanding that we will get to them. We just need to understand that we have limitations. That'll probably do for the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Harwood. Any other councillor? Councillor Mason.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I fully endorse everything that's been said and thank Councillor Aitken and the finance portfolio for all of the work that's been done. I'd just like to make an added observation that given the sobering financial situation we're in, we actually have made a lot of savings as well. And one of the excellent savings gestures was the renewable energy, electricity contract that we've entered into, and that is saving us millions of dollars. So I'll just make that observation. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Mason. I might just say a few words just in relation to the team, actually. So I'd like to thank Karen, who's no longer leads the team and is not with the city, but the work that she has done. Narelle and Gayatri for the work you've done. I know you've been under extreme pressure of late, and I thank you for the commitment and dedication in having these figures before us tonight. And Councillor Aitken for his work and leadership on the finance portfolio. Thank you. Anyone else? Otherwise, back to you, Councillor Aitken.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, you stole a bit of my thunder. I wish to wrap up as well too. It should be noted that the Audit and Risk have signed off on this document and actually done the proper governance in terms of their review of it. The Victorian Auditor General's Office has actually also reviewed this document as well too, and essentially have said that it does meet a true and accurate reflection of the financial position and the financial information of the city. And most importantly, I did also wanted to thank the finance team, which was so strongly led by Karen Oslanki in the last 3 years, and her understudy in Narelle O'Shea. There's actually a bigger team behind those two, but they're the faces that we actually see at the council. And I think it's actually a reflection of the quality of the staff that we have that Karen has recently just handed her resignation to the acting CEO, Karina. She's actually been able to advance her career with a senior position as Chief Financial Officer with the Department of Health. That's actually a major career achievement for any individual, but it reflects the quality of the staff that we actually have within the city, and it also shows our capacity that we can develop future leaders. And I'm really excited about the team that remains, because they are well birthed and understanding of what needs to actually happen. And I'm very confident that the quality of the financial advice that we've been receiving as the council group and the organisation is going to continue for the next few years, certainly as well too. So thank you very much to Karen. Good luck, Narelle. We look forward to working with you more intently, and your team that you'll bring forward before the council as well too. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor. I can put this to the vote. All those in favour? Against? That is carried. Being nothing else, I'll close the meeting at what time is it? 5:55. Meeting is now closed. Thank you.